Here we go. OnlyFans. Is it good for society? Bad for society?
OnlyFans, man, bro. I think I don't think it's good for society because I feel like women nowadays, especially the younger girls, they lose a lot of what a woman should be, and those qualities that a man would look for in a wife in the future. When they go into OnlyFans, they start realizing that they don't need a man in their life, that this is what they could do for the rest of their life because they want that attention. But then at a certain point in time, their age, they're going to lose that attention. It's a double-edged sword for them, and they can't live that life forever. So what are they going to do for money afterwards? Unless they're making millions now and they're saving and investing in some other way. But then what happens afterwards? You don't get that attention from men because you're a lot older. You're going to start wondering why the right men are not coming at you for the right reasons. That's my take. I think OnlyFans is a horrible thing. I really think it is. It ruins society and how women should act. And if you look at them, a lot of them are actually coming out of high school and they're doing OnlyFans and that's it. They think that's their best way of living for the rest of their life.
I think OnlyFans makes men. I think it changes the perception of for women of the way men are. So they see men as just money. They see us as just like, oh, he's just somebody who's going to help me, have an easier life. So they monetize men. And when you monetize men to that level, I think, it's very damaging, especially when, like you said, girls are coming out of high school at 18 and joining OnlyFans, thinking, oh, wait a minute, I can make big bucks doing nothing, And then they're all, the reality hits that 99.9% of the women on there are not making any money. The only people making money are celebrities, and most of those celebrities are not really bearing as much as people may think. Like, they're not showing as much skin as, you may think. But these girls have to, do porn, they have to show every hole, they have to do things that eventually they're going to, that is going to be on the internet forever, So I feel like OnlyFans is actually a stain on our society. I mean, I understand it's great that, I know one argument is that, you control your content and all this stuff. But, from just reading some articles on women who've done OnlyFans and regret it. I mean, one of the regrets is that they felt like they've gone too far and felt, I guess, sexualized to another level because they felt pressured to do more and more risky, videos and photos and all this stuff to please their subscribers. So technically, if you think about it,
pressure to not get
read
paid.
This before.
Pressure to not get paid. That's some bull.
Well, some people started like taking feet pictures or maybe just bikini photos, but then their fans are like, "Oh, I'll give you more money. Take this off. Oh no, I'll give you more money if you use a dildo. Stuff like that. Like
that's their
it
choice.
Accelerates.
That's their choice. Then
it is,
give them more money.
It is, but at 18, do you think their women are mature enough to be able to make that decision? That So, they're actually being groomed, if you think about it. They're being, taken advantage of by subscribers. Or you don't even know if that's a real subscriber or if it's like a company who's trying to get, steal, information and photos and all this stuff and then make money off of it on a website. You don't know who's subscribing to your stuff. It could be anybody. It could be a business. They could be recording it, To me, it's a poison to our society, I think.
It is a poison. I mean, it's like I said, the girls are on Prime at 18.
I mean, I disagree vehemently with both of you guys. Porn in general can be addictive or it can be healthy. I mean, we were painting, sexual things on the inside when we were cavemen. So it's existed for a long time. And what's interesting to me is that OnlyFans is really an extension of social media, except now it's basically porn. And what I find really ironic is that as soon as women are given the ability to control content, to control how they want to be perceived, to control what they want to put out there, all of a sudden everybody goes crazy. Where was this to the porn industry? Why aren't you guys saying, hey, the porn industry takes advantage of women? Why are you guys not against that? Now that women are actually able to make money once they put their content out, not a bunch of guys, sleazeballs in California or in Hollywood somewhere, the backroom casting couches, all of a sudden, like, we go crazy. It's like, oh, this is bad. This is bad that women are now able to make money. Oh, they're 18. They're legal adults. They can make their own decision. And if those decisions, yes, they're going to have consequences. They're going to have repercussions. But that's part of being an adult. That's part of being in a free country. And all of a sudden, because we give people agency, we gave women specifically agency. It's interesting that society somehow looks down on that. To me, it's a disruption in the entire porn industry. The original model of the porn industry was basically that you take somebody who's young, who's never done porn, and you get them to do a few scenes because people like to see new girls all the time. And basically that's it. They're done. They never make money from that content. They'll get paid maybe, a few $1,000s, and they never see a dime. And that affects the rest of their life. It goes Pornhub. It goes on xnxx.com, on RedTube, whatever it may be. And they're forever on the internet. They make no money from it. Whereas in OnlyFans, if they make content, they in perpetuity. As long as they keep their OnlyFans page open, they make money off of that, them directly. Yes, OnlyFans is going to get a cut because it's social media, just like YouTube makes a cut, whatever content that you make.
Yeah, but at a certain age, they're not going to be able to use OnlyFans for the rest of their life. You know that, right? Then what their value depreciates. As a man, our value, we're not valued that much when we're younger, but as we get older, our value gets higher. We're more wanted compared to a woman.
That all depends, I think, on what the woman has built. First of all, there's different categories of porn. Just because a woman gets older, you're like, I don't even believe in that dynamic that a woman's value automatically decreases the older that she gets. How do you? Why would you say that? Why would you say that a woman's value decreases?
Look at Mia Khalifa. I guess like when she quit porn, now wherever she goes for business meetings, she gets called out for being a porn star. Well, she's trying to do a business meeting regarding porn anymore. Like in public.
What's interesting about Mia Khalifa is that one of the things that she complains about is exactly an issue that OnlyFans resolves. Is that the porn that she did when she was younger has generated millions and millions upon millions of dollars, and she only got paid thousands of dollars from those millions and millions. If there was an OnlyFans that existed back then, she would be essentially making those millions and millions instead of a bunch of guys, sleazeballs in an office somewhere.
I mean, if we're comparing porn, regular porn, like the industry, to OnlyFans, that's one thing. But that wasn't OnlyFans is better than the porn industry. 100%. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't, the problem is that porn was always looked down upon. So you always had these, most women who did porn came from low families, like they were in a shitty situation. Now it's like they're trying to make it so that, oh no, it's okay to do OnlyFans. It's okay to sell your body to make money. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to have a society of women who think, oh, you know what? I could make money showing skin. Like, first of all, isn't that like what we're fighting against? Like, so that women can not be sexualized or groomed or taken advantage of? Isn't that the whole purpose? You know what I mean? Of everything, like people have issues with, older men dating younger girls and all this other crazy stuff, you say about grooming and whatnot. Like, aren't we grooming women to say, oh, you know what? Men are only good for one thing, money. And if you show your skin, you show your ass, you show your tits, it's okay to make money like that because, you're empowered. It's not, but it's not really empowering. It's actually not empowering because to show your private, I don't know, our culture, maybe it's a cultural issue. Maybe our society, we should all be naked, walk around naked and be like, oh, it's okay to be naked. But we're not in that society. Ever since people ate, the apple was eaten, from that tree, if you're religious. Or whatever you want to say, we start wearing shirts and stuff after,
It's like you said, it's normalizing the objectification of women.
We're trying to less sexualize ourselves. We don't want to be objects. Why are women want to be objects? You know what I mean? I know. Exactly. I feel like the argument that women have, even a lot of women have it, and some men is like, oh, it's okay, it's empowering. Is it really empowering that I can't do anything else? That apparently my looks are all I have to offer, and hey. Those looks, like you said, all the time people want new people. So you'll have a subscriber for maybe 6 months, a year, and then they're gone. And then most of the time, and then, you get, maybe she started at 18. By the time she hits 30, or maybe even less than that, nobody wants to see her anymore. And now you have this, this is all you've got to offer. I mean, I know there's some people who, do it as a side gig and all this other stuff. But I mean, I think businesses look down on that too. Like, I mean, I couldn't imagine in my industry, coming to work and then all of a sudden, there's a girl sitting next to me and she's like, I've seen her get, nailed every each way, there's no way anybody, I mean, maybe it's not appropriate, but it's not acceptable. I don't think it'll ever be acceptable.
No, it's not going to be acceptable at all.
For men or women, like a male porn star, male OnlyFans, same thing. I don't think it's just women, but.
Yeah, of course, because there are men in there too that make money out of it. Not as many as women, but there definitely are. Like I've seen it in TikTok. I'm not that there are guys out there to make money off it. But I mean, it's like you
But
said, you know,
I mean,
it's normalizing that as justification
my
of
other
women,
my other thing is
and that's
my other
not.
thing is we our society works so hard on physical, like physical as in like trying to like like all right, let me see if I can explain this. So all right, uh, we're trying to make our society healthier, right? Physically. So we'll deal with diabetes, cancer, all these other diseases and health problems like obesity, etc. But we never think about the mental health of people. So like they're like OnlyFans is I don't think is healthy for a society. I think first of all you have again it's not just the producers. I mean the content creators. It's also the subscribers. Like it's just not healthy. I just don't think that you got a bunch of 80%. What did they say? They said like 80% of men are on there for 80% of to watch content, and most of them are married men. Like, well, I mean, aren't we trying to build a society that's better? Like, why is this okay? Like, if you think about it, this is maybe I'm going a little too far out there. But
Well, let me
like,
ask you a question.
why do we have toxic stuff?
Well, let me ask you, why do you think that sex work is unhealthy?
I think it can be. I think it can become an addiction for a lot of people.
Yeah, but anything can become
Like
an addiction.
No, I agree.
Sugar is an addiction. I mean, it's
I agree.
Gambling is an addiction. Watching YouTube videos and IG reels
Sex
is an addiction.
Yeah, that's true.
Sex itself is
That
an
is
addiction.
It's just a general question.
I mean, so again, just to make some pushback, I feel like my problem with it is that you're projecting your moral values on everyone. You're assuming that sex work should be morally reprehensible. That we should chastise people for sex work. But why? What is wrong with sex work? Why is that such a bad thing to society? And culture, by its nature, culture is constantly going to change. So this idea that like, well, forever, it's going to be forever, that it's never. Did you guys know that in Japan, culturally right now in Japan, it is becoming acceptable for men in relationships or married men to go see prostitutes. Women in Japan are okay with it. They say it's better for them to go to a prostitute, and it's becoming normalized. So culture changes, and that's the nature of it. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman and sex work. And again, it goes back to this. You said it yourself. Why do these women make money? Because of men. And so it's interesting to me that it's like, now that the women are making money, it's like, oh, this is bad for society. Women should not be doing this. But yet, no one looks at men. No one looks at men and say, hey, why are all these men, married men, going to OnlyFans? What's wrong with them? Shouldn't men better themselves? And again, I really should believe that this stems from a subconscious patriarchal toxicity. That's where it stems from. That right away, a woman now has the power to make money, to create content and make money off of men. And all of a sudden, oh, that's a bad thing. But yet, before in a traditional model, it's the men that are making it's the men that are spending the money, and it's the men that are making money. And now that we've changed the dynamic to, well, the women can make the money and the men spend the money. Once the dynamic is reversed, we go crazy. It's like, oh God, horrible, bad for society, evil for society.
I think it's more than that. I think you have, so based on who the subscribers are, you have older men who are wealthier, of course, financially, who are, I guess, what does it say? So the girls who are making the content are young, probably 18 to 25 on average. And then the men who are consuming this content are, 30s to 40s. So you have a bunch of young guys who are now going to have to eventually marry a woman or try to find a woman, quality woman. And guess what? All the 30, 40-year-old men or 50-year-old men are using them as content for, because they're not satisfied in their sexual relationships. And then you have a bunch of young kids now who are getting angry about it because they're like, hey, it's okay for all these young women to have these, do this content stuff. It's not even about the money. It's more about, all right, now they want to be in relationships with women. And these women they're finding out are doing OnlyFans and doing all the stuff that they don't see as wifey material or relationship material, So if anything, it's the older generation of men who are making it worse for the younger generation of men.
I don't even necessarily think that's true. I think the younger generation is probably going to be more accepting of sex work. because they're going to grow up in that. They're going to grow up in that situation where it's like, hey, like, oh, you did sex work before? Okay, sure. I mean, that's an issue. If again, I feel like it's projecting your moral values. If a young man is going to get angry because young women are able to create money off of their sexuality, and older men are willing to spend money on it, that's a you problem. That's not that, like, society is changing, and if you're angry at society, then don't go find someone that didn't do an OnlyFans.
It's an imbalance in society. So you have younger men who are at a disadvantage. I mean, we're already seeing it. I mean, our society. I mean, they did a good thing by pushing women up and everything, and now you see it in colleges and everywhere. 75%, 60% of college, freshmen are females. So now you are seeing like everything is about promoting women, but not men. And now even on the financial aspect, you're talking about, all right, I'm selling my body, I'm making money off of older men. And then you have these younger guys who feel unfulfilled, I guess, and then they can't meet the type of woman they want. Also,
okay,
so I don't know. I feel like our older generation is taking advantage of the younger generation. Is what I feel. And you think empowerment is making money, but I don't consider the amount of money these women make as empowerment, because on average they don't make enough to retire with that money. They just make enough to survive for a few years.
It's not about the money. It's because they have the power now. They have the choice whether they want to do it or not. And whatever comes of it, whether it's money, whether it's bad consequences, such as being unable to find a partner in the future because they did this when they were younger, that's the consequences and repercussions. They're women, they're grown adults, they can make that decision. And I just don't think that we should be in a society where we castigate women because they want to monetize their sexuality. And again, I feel like it's rejecting. Why is it a bad thing? Why, like, right away, you're already assuming that, oh, it must be bad if you make money off your sexuality. Why is that bad?
I think it's more harmful for themselves in the future, honestly.
So why is it harmful? Why is it harmful?
So think about their mental health. Think about their mental health, like all the criticism they get just for being in there. But then think about it, like think of it as like a stripper, right? Once they start, like, the world around them change instantly, dramatically, because the damage they continue the damage continues to be escalated over time. A compilation of other people's fantasies.
But what damage? How are you damaged by being a sex worker?
I'm trying to continue, but you keep interrupting.
I'm asking you. You're saying damage.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm getting to it, but you just interrupted me. I was continuing.
Okay, keep going.
So the compilation of other people's fantasies, eventually, they lose touch with who they truly are. Each night they give a piece of themselves away until there's nothing to give. And then their capacity for intimacy and ability to have healthy relationships will likely be profoundly impacted, dude. Like, it's hard not to believe that someone would value you for who you are as a person, not what you can do for them sexually. And it takes a lot of time and hard work to recover from that, if you think about it. Because now they're going to look at men differently for the rest of their life. There's going to be damage after that.
You're making so many assumptions. You're already making an assumption that if someone is in a consensual situation where they're willing to monetize their sexuality, you're already assuming that damaged them. You haven't given a rationale or logic how that is. All you said, in the future they might not. But how? How does posting nude pictures of yourself damage you? What is the damage? Where is the damage?
The damage is that it's online forever, and then you're going to have kids. And they're going to have to deal with bullying. And then on top of that, also, that is part of it.
They're going to look at men differently every single time. I'm sorry,
it'll never be accepted. First of all, sex work will never be accepted as mainstream. It's not going to happen. I don't believe, in our lifetime at least. Maybe eventually it'll happen, but like, I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime. And I don't think it's a healthy thing anyway. Like, I think, look, it's like a dark little, like 1% of people who do it anyway. I don't think most women are willing to do sex work. Like, I think, honestly, personally, I think OnlyFans is, I actually do not think it's a problem, because I don't think, like, if you look at the numbers, not a lot of women are doing it. It's really not a big number. And it's usually the toxic women doing it anyway, in my opinion. I mean, again, just my opinion. I'm not saying statistics. But if you look at it, why has porn always had women who came from, like, bad homes or, like, bad situations where poor women always put themselves to sell themselves on sex. You don't, like, most wealthy women or successful or smart women don't sell their body and won't sell their body. I mean, the people who are doing it are usually the ones who are not as not as intelligent. I'm sorry, but I would assume that most people who do porn are not intelligent. If you did maybe if we did a study, maybe that's something we should do, a study, But I'm just saying, the woman who's working as a CEO is not going to freaking post pictures of herself in general, So if you can have a normal good job, you would not do it. I think people who are in a bad place usually will sell themselves. I think that's like a last resort type of like a job, Like, I don't think anybody really wants to do that. Like, I don't think anybody wants to get fucked every night at the bunny ranch, She either has some kind of trauma in her life, that's why she chooses to do that, or she was abused. And I mean, that's what I would think. I'm not a psychologist.
I don't think so. I mean, the way social media is now with young children, they're on TikTok, and people will comment them how they look. They see it as be a norm. So it's like as they get older, being exposed on online social media, like, okay, OnlyFans would be a great avenue for it because they're already used to it. So why not get paid?
Gotcha.
It stems from that. The new generation, at least, that's where it stems from to me, is because social media at the age of 8 or 7, they're seeing all this
attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Attention too.
Yeah,
but you guys are completely contradicting yourselves. You're both saying at the same time, well, this is never going to be normal. This is never going to be accepted. Sex work will always be looked down upon. But at the same time, you're also saying, well, it's ruining society. It's becoming normalized. If it's becoming normalized, that means that society is now becoming accepting of it. I feel like the rationale that you guys are using why it's damaging is because society looks down on it. And now that we're getting to a moment where you guys are even acknowledging that, no, society is becoming more accepting of it. But at the same time, you're saying, well, no, it'll never be accepted. It'll never be.
It is. I mean, of course, it's a little more accepting now. Yes, definitely it's getting up there, but it still will never, I don't think it'll ever be like 50% of the U.S. is like, oh, yeah, 50% of women in the world are doing sex work. Like, that's never going to happen.
It's not. I'm not talking about partaking in it, but I think at some point, I think it's going to get to a point where sex work is going to be seen as just a job. I think if somebody has a past, if they did an OnlyFans, I think people, OnlyFans, okay, whatever.
No, I agree.
It'll be like social media. It's like, oh, you had a Facebook account.
No, I don't think.
No, it is. It's an extension. No, I'm saying.
All right, all right. Let me ask you this:
not that 90% of women will do OnlyFans. No, but I'm saying is that if somebody finds out that this girl did OnlyFans, maybe most guys won't even bat an eye. They'll just be like, all right, whatever, cool.
Well, no big deal. I still think most guys wouldn't date somebody. I don't think ever you're going to have that moment because I think it's just. I think the way we evolutionary or biologically we're designed, I don't think men will ever want. For the main part, to date a girl who has all her stuff out there and like videos of them getting fucked. I just don't think it's ever going to be normalized.
Why is that? Why is that considered bad?
Because I think sex is a very intimate thing, and having it out there makes it less intimate.
But wouldn't you agree that some people view sex as just clearly recreational?
Oh yes, I'm sure. Oh yeah. Okay, but I don't think that's the. But for serious relationships, I'm saying, like, if you're like, yeah, I'm sure a guy will be okay with sleeping with one of them. But I'm saying, like, for a relationship, I think men are like, like even me, like in my past, like, yes, would I sleep with a girl who did OnlyFans? Yes, I would. Would I date her? No. I mean, I think a lot of guys think like that. I think that a majority of men will always think like that.
You're contradicting yourself because you're saying that kids growing up nowadays view it as just like social media, and it's a natural transition for them once they get older.
Women do, but I don't think men do. I don't think the little boys do as much. I don't think they all do.
But that's what I'm trying to get at your rationale. Like, why is that? You said, it's going to be out there, and it's. Again, you're projecting your moral values. You're saying sex has to be intimate.
Oh, no,
We're going up a society where sex is not necessarily intimate. That people now, I mean, we have hookup culture now. Tinder is a perfect example. Yeah. All you guys are on Tinder. Tinder is a perfect example. Everybody knows Tinder. You want to hook up, you go to Tinder. And so it's. I feel like it's the same. It's OnlyFans is the same situation. It's just a natural progression of where society is headed when it comes to sexuality. And now we're getting to a point where people are just like, hey, if you just want to have sex, you just want to hook up, and you want to put it out there, whatever, that's fine.
I think when you monetize sex, I think that's when it becomes an issue. I think if people want to choose to hook up and do stuff, I think that's always existed in life. I mean, it existed in my generation. It existed before our generation. But I think when you monetize it and you normalize monetizing sex, I think it's, like I said, it's okay to you can do it, but at some people are still going to look down on it. I think it's just something that people will always look down on.
Well, what's wrong with monetizing sexuality? I don't understand what's like. You're saying again. You come at this base. You start off with it's bad, and then when I ask why is it bad, you can't give an explanation.
But I think first of all, I think like Ray's was saying before, I think it builds trauma in women who are doing it. First of all, I think it builds trauma because I don't think you can sustain a healthy relationship doing sex work. I don't think you'll ever be able to build any other, like I hate the word pair bonding because like I feel like I think it does exist, but it's still I don't know. Is it a real science? I don't even know. It's something that somebody created. This terminology, I don't know the depths of it.
The CDC did the study on it, so it is an actual scientific term.
Oh, is it real? Okay, yeah. All right. Seriously, I didn't even know that. But so to me, I think it messes up your pair bonding. I think also it built like somebody who's done a lot of sex work. I think men will in general see that as she's more, proclivity to cheating and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
I mean it's not.
Not true, but cheating. Like, dude, if you think about if you're a stripper or in the porn industry or OnlyFans, the men they get, a good majority of them, I'm pretty sure, are going to be married or with someone. So for them to have a relationship and not think about their significant other doing the same thing someone else behind their back, it's going to be a lot higher. They're going to have that in the back of their head. That it's going to be hard for them to trust a man because of what they've experienced throughout their whole career in OnlyFans or wherever.
You have a higher chance of STDs. You have a higher chance of not being able to pair bond. So, I mean, I think those are the negatives.
Yeah. Unless you plan to be single for the rest of your life, that's fine.
But, Ayn, let me ask you this. You have two women. One did OnlyFans. One is a nurse. Which one would you date? Like, if they're exactly same looks, same amount of money they make, they both make the same. They're both
the nurse that did OnlyFans.
They look the same.
The nurse that has a side gig in OnlyFans.
Number one, what kind of content does she create on OnlyFans? That's the first question.
So my thing is going to be nudes. She does nudes. No, she doesn't get.
I'd rather take the OnlyFans girl, of course. If all things are equal, yeah, I'd rather take the OnlyFans girls. Nurses are considered number one occupation for cheating. I don't know what's OnlyFans, but if she only posts
I've actually seen I've lawyers have said that women on social media and OnlyFans are also up there. All right, so.
But then it depends who's more attractive.
No, they're the same attraction.
But they're number one and number two.
Or would you rather date a woman who shows her body on the internet or somebody who doesn't?
Which part of the body? Which part of the body?
Everything.
Just the feet.
Their butthole, their front hole.
If all things are equal, like of course I would go with a person that's not on social media simply because I've had a negative experience with being with someone on social media with a big presence. And so, yeah, of course, I prefer a life that's much more quiet than what my ex was, and how fake it was, and how just everything, all the negative things, the toxic things that come to social media. I would prefer the non-social media person. But it's not because she posted nudes online. It's not if she posted nudes online and she wasn't super popular, I wouldn't care. If she did an OnlyFans and she got 2 subscribers and
I would care.
I don't care. I don't care. Who cares?
Well, hold on. You want a woman that only 2 guys want to see?
Boundaries.
Well, exactly.
Boundaries.
She probably not that attractive if she only had 2 subscribers. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, society, I think, is changing, and I think you guys are going against the grain. You guys are saying no, it's bad, it's bad, and it's you're saying, these women will be damaged, they'll have trauma. What are you basing that on? You're assuming that these women are not going to be there voluntarily, and you're assuming that society will always view sex work as bad.
I think there was a test that 34% of women who did OnlyFans regret it because of the mental health issues that come afterwards of what they've been criticizing.
So what I'm going to say is OnlyFans just came out recently. So I think we need more data. I think we'll find out the truth in another 10, 15 years. when
I'm
all
gonna
these
create an
women
OnlyFans.
that did OnlyFans are no longer doing it, and see how what's happened. You
I'm
know
gonna
what I
create an
mean?
really, I mean,
OnlyFans
Because
so I can be part of that study.
we already know. I mean, we all we have to do is look at the
Oh
porn
shit!
industry. I mean, porn has existed
What
for
what kind of
eternity, and
porn?
people that do porn, either some of them are complete mess, and some of them are perfectly happy and went to live normal lives and went into obscurity. That's like with any industry. All the things that you guys talk about, oh, they're gonna have trauma, they're gonna have this, they're gonna have that. That happens in life. That's life. Like, I feel like you guys are describing what it's like to be in the dating world, what it's like to be in relationships. Anything like that could happen to anybody. You could have done something
You
in
know
the
what?
past where if a girl finds out, they're gonna be like, no, I don't want to be with you. Sorry.
You know what?
And
The
so all
OnlyFans
these things
girls
that
are
you're
gonna go
putting on it is
after
just your assumptions.
the girls who continue to do
your insecurities.
OnlyFans are probably
Huh?
gonna be like the girls who only do OnlyFans are gonna go for like the 1%. Anyways, for the guys that make a lot of money. So I don't
You
think
guys
we'll
are so
have problems with that.
any data. You guys are making so many assumptions without any evidence. I mean, I
well,
agree
what do
with
you mean?
Ken, like,
First
you
of all,
know,
hold on. You're saying evidence like we're just having a discussion on a podcast about
Yeah.
our opinions.
I
No,
know.
but you guys
I
are
mean,
saying
I know
they'll
you. I know
they'll
you
be
want to go with evidence.
traumatized. They'll be like,
Well,
oh, they're gonna be
Yeah,
messed
porn
up.
stars are
It's like, where are you
traumatized.
getting
Former
this?
porn stars are always
Yeah.
traumatized. There's so many articles on how brutal their life is after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you know why? But you know why that is?
Why?
Oh, because the
I
men
don't
who
know. I don't
control
know.
the industry. And OnlyFans allows women to control their destiny, control their industry. The trauma that happens is because you have male directors who are pressuring these women to like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Oh, we're not gonna pay you if you don't, do DP. We're not gonna pay you if you don't, do ATM. And
What's
so now women
ATM?
have a choice.
What's the DP?
Oh God, you're such a virgin.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's like I feel like once women actually in control, people all of a sudden get upset. Where was this with the porn
So you
industry?
think?
Why aren't you
So
guys
that's
attacking
what
the
you
porn
think the main
industry?
reason? So you think the main reason is that it's because men want to don't like that women are making money?
Yes, absolutely. It's like you said. You don't like it that sexuality is being monetized. Sexuality is being monetized by women, and you think that's bad. That's a bad thing. Whereas before it was.
I don't think it's bad. No, I don't think that's bad. I think it's bad teaching young kids. I think we need to discuss the repercussions of stuff like this. Like anything that becomes like a real big socially like movement is we need to assess the dangers. You know?
Oh yeah, of course. When you look at World Star,
like-
they post OnlyFans girls in there. Like they put their tags and everything. Like, come on, it's commercialized everywhere. Unlike porn, you don't see Pornhub ads everywhere on Instagram, but you see OnlyFans girls everywhere being posted in all social media.
So they get posted on Pornhub. Well, what do you think happens when they get posted on Pornhub and they go viral? What do you think happens?
They're probably gonna get a small piece of it.
No, what happens is that the traffic gets funneled back to the OnlyFans. They get more subscribers. They get more money. In the old porn model, what would happen was that it would go viral. The only people making money would be either people on Pornhub or the Bang Brothers or.
Yeah,
or
but let's say they don't make porn. Let's say they don't make porn. They just only do OnlyFans. Let's just put it that way.
OnlyFans is porn. And I can actually take down those videos. Pornhub will not post the videos of an OnlyFans person unless unless they approve of it. And Pornhub and all these other websites, RedTube, they've all been very careful. Because before they were threatened to be shut down because they had so much copyrighted content from all the different porn companies. Now the porn companies like Brazzers, Bang Brothers, the biggest porn makers, they are now partnered with Pornhub. They're now partnered with RedTube. They're now partnered with XNXX because they realize that
casting couch.
People are going to search for this stuff. And it's like to me, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you guys are getting angry that women are making money off their sexuality.
I'm not getting angry about it. I just think it's bad that there are more women doing it. I think it's okay because it's being normalized.
Let me tell you something. You see, in reality, most women aren't even doing this. I just think that women are being taken advantage of, and women think that they're actually making good money when an average woman makes about $145 a month. It's nothing. It's like a side hustle, and it leaves you scarred and traumatized. I mean, I've read so many articles on the dark side of OnlyFans saying that they thought they were going to feel empowered, but they were traumatized. that
Yeah.
their subscribers push their boundaries, meaning, oh, for more money, oh, let's show this, show this, show that, and like also the repercussions after the fact that, like, once men found out that they were doing OnlyFans, they did OnlyFans previously, a lot of guys didn't take them seriously. So, I mean, I'm just talking about one person's, experience, but I just think I just don't think it's a net positive. I mean, maybe it is for like
Nah.
the ones who are making a lot of money and they control their content, like a small
Yeah.
portion of people. But I think in general, women are not making enough for it to really benefit. I mean, if you think about $150 a month, I mean,
Yeah,
there's way better ways to make $150 a month than
I actually have
selling
two
your
friends
pictures
that
online.
do have. I have two friends that do have an OnlyFans page, and they don't do so well. And they're not ugly. They're actually really. They'd probably be like an 8 in my book or 9, probably 10 in some other people. But they don't make that much money. So like you said, it is only a small percentage of women that do it. And or we just don't know, or we just don't know.
Do nudes. They do nudes.
I don't know because I don't subscribe to them, so I won't know.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, I mean, like
100%.
like I said, I feel like you guys are completely just projecting. You're projecting all your moral values. It's like, it's like they're going to be traumatized. It's bad.
We
for
are.
them. You're talking about one person. I mean, we can keep pulling up example, like for every article that says like, oh my God, OnlyFans was horrible for me. I can pull up an example of somebody who's successful with a podcast. This is OnlyFans the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, how many articles do I see every single time of a person that's like, well, I used to be a teacher and they found out I had an OnlyFans and I quit. I was okay to resign because I made so much money from OnlyFans. I agree with you that it's a small percentage. And if somebody's going to make $150 a month, and you say, well, there's a better way to make it, yeah, then they should go and make it. If they're scarred for life because they did it, that's under their own volition. That's their choice. But at least it was their choice.
I agree with that, but again, don't we want to be better as a society? Don't we want, like, isn't the whole, all this feminism to like help empower women? But I feel like stuff like this actually detracts from it. Like maybe because it helps like a select few women, and everybody else gets hit by the real reality that, sorry, you're not going to make the money. And now you have photos out there and you regret it. And now you want to scrub it and get rid of it. And then you also want guys to take you seriously that are not going to take you seriously because you did it. Like I said, I don't think, again, I understand it's subjective, but I think on average, most guys are not going to date women who did OnlyFans. It's just, I mean, if you go on social media, you see all the stuff that people talk about. The young kids do not want to date them. Why do you think there's a hookup culture? Because they just sexualize women. So now you have young guys sexualizing women because of OnlyFans. Because they're like, oh, so women apparently, monetize their bodies. So guess what? I'm not going to take women seriously. You don't think there's like you don't think there's like an effect that like somehow like trickles down to like other parts of society?
It does. It's going to change how men act too towards women.
No, I think it's going to be a net positive. I think it's going to be a net positive. I want more sexual freedom. I want more people to be able to express their sexuality, and I think it's perfectly fine. I feel like you guys are holding this glass case of traditional values where it's like, well, sexuality, sex has to be intimate. Sex has to be this like super special thing that should only be between me and my woman, and no one else can have it. And we're becoming a society where it's like, hey, you know what? It's okay to have sex with someone recreationally. It's okay for my husband to go and get a prostitute. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But that's where society's headed. If that's where society's headed, you know what? Let people be. Let people live. Let humanity live. Who am I to say that that's bad? Who am I to say that that's wrong? More sex for everyone. More free love for everyone. What's wrong with that?
Wait a minute. So that means, wait a minute, hold on. Our society already, women control the sex. That's normal.
No, I think that women are definitely the gatekeepers to sex, but now in our society, yeah, it is changing, and I think that I'm okay with sex work. That's why I'm okay with sex work. It's like, it's give women the power. The biggest power that women have.
No, actually, it takes power away from regular women, because now if my woman's not giving me sex, I got to go get it somewhere else easily.
And she'll be okay. And she'll be okay with it because prostitution is going to be okay. It's going to be seen as acceptable. In Japan, it's already acceptable. But that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like for all of human history, women have been owned. Well, women has been seen as property, right? It's like you look at religious cultures. The first thing they do is cover up the women, cover up their hair, cover up their face. No one can see them except us. And now we're becoming a society where it's like, hey, you know what? A woman should be able to free themselves. They should be able to show themselves out there. And so again, it's perspective. You guys view it as, oh, the power is being taken away from them. Whereas I view it as like, no, for centuries, women have been covered up by men because you're property, you're mine, no one else can see you. And now we have this situation where it's like society's changed. They're saying like, no, put yourself out there. And if a man doesn't want you, 15, 20 years from now, well, that's his problem. Then that guy can find a woman who's never been in OnlyFans, who's covered up from head to toe. Let him do it.
Good topic.
No, I'm still not gonna
We're
date
at
an
an hour
OnlyFans girl. I'm not gonna date an OnlyFans girl.
I can't
Me
change
neither.
your guys' mind.
That's all.
You're not gonna change mine.
I never. I won't accept it. I would never want my daughter to be into that shit. I swear. I'd slap the shit out of her.
Oh my god, that's child abuse.
That's only it's abuse now. Back in the day, it wasn't. You could slap your kid around.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still
Dude, let
back
me tell
in
you
the day.
something.
Teach them a damn lesson.
Kids need to be. We could discuss this some other time, but kids need to be slapped once in a while.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah, dog.
I was slapped as a kid, dude.
Hell
I'm better
yeah.
for it.
I was beat for freaking belt, slippers,
Are we gonna get
everything.
into this topic right now?
Hangers?
No,
Corporal
we
punishment.
don't need to.
Corporal punishment, man.
We're
It's
at an
bad,
hour.
man.
We're an
All
hour.
the
You
studies
guys,
show corporal punishment is bad.